So good afternoon, Park Ranger Roland from Cowpens National Battlefield. Thank you for joining me on location outside here today. I'm going to be covering a little bit of the British aspect from the point where Lieutenant Colonel Manasseh Tarleton gets orders from Lieutenant General Cornwallis to find Morgan, up to the point where Tarleton learns that Morgan is here at the Cowpens. Early January, after Morgan has camped at Grindle Shoals, and after Lieutenant Colonel Washington defeated a group of Georgia loyalists at a place called Hammond's Store about 10 miles north of 96. Lieutenant General Cornwallis is getting messages in, and he has spies and scouts coming in as well, so advising him that Morgan is up here in the backcountry. So he is raising a militia. He needs to be dealt with at all costs. So Lieutenant General Cornwallis dispatches Lieutenant Colonel Tarleton to find Morgan. So his orders are to push him to the utmost. Tarleton gets on Morgan's trail. He first goes down to 96 because Cornwallis is thinking and feeling that that is Morgan's objective. Tarleton gets down there, realizes that Morgan is not anywhere near 96 at all, so he has moved more north. So Tarleton starts his advance up the northern route to find Morgan and to follow Cornwallis's orders. The papers of Lieutenant General Charles Cornwallis cover all of the dispatches between Cornwallis and Tarleton going back and forth. There is a little bit of a miscommunication between these two that will have dire consequences at the battle here. When Morgan is camped at Grindle Shoals, Tarleton crosses about 6 to 10 miles. So from that location, at a place called Easterwood Shoals. Morgan leaves Grindle Shoals and he camps up at Burr's Mill about 10 miles north. Once Morgan learns that Tarleton has crossed at Easterwood Shoals, he leaves Burr's Mill and he comes up here to the Cowpens. Tarleton will move his army in to Burr's Mill on January 16th. He sends out his scouts and spies to find where Morgan is. So he also sends a very quick dispatch back to Cornwallis. I have been cruelly retarded by the waters. I wish that Morgan could be stopped. That General Morgan has made his way the byways to Cherokee Ford, coming like up here to like Island Ford. That is the last message Cornwallis gets from Tarleton. So until Tarleton rides in to his camp at Turkey Creek and tells him about the battle here. Once Tarleton's spies and scouts find Morgan here, they ride the 12 miles back to Burr's Mill, advise Tarleton about 1:30 in the morning that Morgan is up here. So Tarleton raises up his men. They have been moving for days on no food and very little sleep. And Tarleton forces a 12-mile march through like icy streams and muddy roads up here to the Cowpens, and Tarleton arrives here around daybreak, 7:30 in the morning. So thank you very much and have a nice day. Park Ranger Roland by Sinat, thank you for joining me on location again at Cowpens National Battlefield. So right back there, the backdrop is like the actual battlefield here at Cowpens. Continuing on talking about the British Army that Tarleton brings here. So Lieutenant Colonel Tarleton has about 1,150 British troops. Some of them are British regulars, some of them are loyalists. The easiest way to tell them apart The Loyalists, either like the British Legion Cavalry or Infantry, or the Prince of Wales, so American Regiment, are dressed in green coats. Light infantry has waist-short green coats. Regular infantry has like a little bit longer coats, almost down onto the back of the leg here. Regular, so British units. The 7th, so Fusiliers, the 71st Highlanders, of the 16th Light Infantry, of the 17th Light Dragoons are all dressed in red coats with either tan or blue facings on the cuffs right here. The British artillery, Tarleton has 2 3-pound grasshopper cannons and about 24 cannoneers. Those men are dressed in blue. If you put a Royal Artilleryman and a Maryland or Delaware Continental Infantry, it is basically the same uniform. It's a red coat, it's a blue coat with red facings here. That covers the British Army. So thank you very much and have a nice day. So thank you for joining me on location again, like at Cowpens National Battlefield. So I am right here on the historic Green River Road at the point where Tarleton deploys his men on the morning of January 17th. I'm going to be covering where Tarleton initially deploys his men like on the field. Off to my left hand side over here is where Tarleton puts on the flank 25 17th Light Dragoons, the Light Infantry companies of the 7th, the 71st, so British Legion, and the Prince of Wales American are all placed. Starting right here on the road and moving off to the right is the British Legion Infantry. Down there, so further on the right, is the 7th Regiment of Foot. Anchoring them on the right side of the line is 25 more of the 17th Light Dragoons. So in reserve, in back of the 71st, so in back of the 7th is the 71st Highlanders, Scottish Highland Regiment. Straight back there, so looking down the road, is where like Benastre Tarleton and his staff are. And that's also where the British Legion Cavalry is also kept like in reserve as well. On the morning of the 17th, Tarleton will order a charge straight like up the road, so up the battlefield back here. So we will cover the actual battle at like a later time. Thank you very much and have a nice day.